It says we're live.
Yeah, lies.
Now it changed colors.
Yes, I know that I look weird. I came straight from the gym. Okay. If you would like to support the Blanket Fort, and please support the Blanket Fort, donate here. All monies will go to keeping well,
The lights
today,
on, the internet working,
today it's the air
air
conditioning
conditioner today.
and the high speed internet required for video calls. Or videotaping, whatever the hell. I just came from the gym. Leave me alone. If you like coffee, talk to these guys, King Harv's Imperial Coffees at kingharv.com. And don't forget that we're putting together our second coffee anthology. So if you like coffee from them, be sure you let them know you heard about it here. And then last but not least, Smart Elk t-shirts. I hate this thing. tinyurl.com, Among the Leaves Tees. He's adding more and more t-shirts every day. He's a friend of ours. Support starving creatives. Buy a t-shirt.
Yeah, please. And speaking of shirts, they fucking starched my Hawaiian shirt, and I feel like a damn Michelin man in this thing.
He crunches. I can't stand starch my clothes. It drives me up the wall.
Well, not only that, but it screws up the fabric.
It's the feel of it just makes me want to jump out of my skin. Okay, so Jim has a rant.
Oh, yes, I have. Well, before we get to the rants, let's do the books.
Oh, books first. Jim Totten has a new one out, Annie Get Your Gun, in his pole dance aviation universe. Childhood friend of mine, good guy, little nuts, but a good guy and I said childhood buddy.
That's one. Pete Nealon, friend of ours also, and a shooter, former Marine Recon, among other things.
Veteran.
Yeah, definitely a veteran. Has a new book out called Something in the Dark, and it's another one of his Jed Horn stories.
Oh, it's on pre-order.
Yeah.
Well done.
It comes out October the 8th. And Pete knows what he's writing about.
Yep.
Because he's been there and done it.
And Jay's Jim Totten. He's a vet too, and he writes to support his store-bought chemical or store-bought happiness habit.
Yeah,
because the VA has him on happy stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, nuclear power is absolutely steampunk. You are correct.
Steam.
They use high pressure steam to drive a number of things on the ship, including the catapults.
And the ship.
Yeah. Yeah, Jesse, that's a good point. Jason Cordova is going under the knife today. Please say a prayer for him.
Yeah.
He's got issues with his lymph nodes.
Hola.
And,
well, when we say issues, he's got cancer.
Yeah, he's got cancer. And they're taking a number of them out today.
Yeah. But the from what he's put up, the prognosis is pretty good.
Yeah.
So.
Well, they think they caught it early enough.
Prognosis is good. If the intel he's letting us have is accurate, he got a pretty good prognosis.
Yeah. It's contained and operable. Yeah, that's the best way to put it.
Like I said, prognosis is pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, Steam is interesting for many reasons. One of the things that I remember about Steam, so to speak, is the Coral Maru that I was on in 1971. Coral Sea, USS Coral Sea. She was a midway class carrier. And had problems with water.
A ship had problems with water.
Yeah. Because they have to use desalinization on the old ships that are steam powered to get fresh water.
Okay.
Well, like every other ship in the Navy, it's slightly more interesting than high voltage DC. Yeah. many Navy ships have freshwater tanks, special tanks for freshwater. And usually one of those freshwater tanks is either next to the jet fuel tank or it's next to bunker fuel. Now, the Coral Maru used 1200 psi steam for the
Okay.
boilers
Okay.
and a drive. The bleed was 300 psi. And that's what they made coffee with in the galley. Now,
I'm just thinking of all those Italian espresso makers that just clutched their chests and fell over.
the more interesting part was at one point during the cruise, they ran out of filters.
Got socks?
They were using athletic socks.
Yep.
We're not sure if they were used prior to being used as filters or not.
300 psi steam doesn't matter.
Yeah, the coffee tasted kind of funny. Then it had an oil slick on it.
300 psi steam will not only
Yeah.
clean but disinfect your socks.
And disinfect your everything else at the same time. Yes, steam is very energetic, great for mechanical work until you start having leaks. It's
And then it's also very energetic finding it.
yeah, it's almost as bad as hydraulic leaks.
Well, the bad thing is you can only find the steam leaks when it's hot.
Yeah, like I said, energetic trying to find them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why all of those old carriers, if you ever went down into the black gang spaces, there's always a control board down there. And usually the vents, air conditioning vent, was 2 stories up. So what they would do is they would take and make a canvas
Shoot.
pipe chute that was about 3 feet around. So it would hang 2 stories down right in front of the control board. So whoever was on the control board is standing there under this thing, and it's AC, so he's cooler, but it's also dripping water. So the guy's standing there basically in a rain shower, running the console. And from a buddy of mine that was Black Gang on the America, he said they were limited to 2 hours.
Really?
Every 2 hours they had to be relieved because A, they had to go back and change clothes, and B, they had to warm up. Now the rest of the steam plant was 130, 140 degrees. They were in 50-degree temperatures.
Well, another thing about steam plants, if there's a steam pipe anywhere.
Yeah.
If you brush it,
Oh yeah.
you got a blister.
Yep.
Yeah, warm.
Yeah.
Yes, folks, I'm in a green shirt because I came straight from the gym. I do not lift weights in a Hawaiian shirt. I realize that's going to be a surprise to some, but this is my gym shirt. So
Oh, Wally. The old company training, it's that time of year. New fiscal year, so you got to redo all your training.
since I'm running a company now, nope, not going to happen.
Yeah. 120 psi steam, 950 degrees. Yep. The
Like I said, they'll sterilize a sock no matter who's wearing it.
yeah. The problem though is that with all the training, it's nothing that's changed in the past 10 years. They just keep adding more stuff. So
And depending on the company, a lot of the training you're getting is to meet government sanctions.
oh yeah.
And it actually doesn't apply to you, your job, or anything you do. But
Oh,
you've
yeah.
got to hit the training.
Yeah. Rack Press does better InfoSec SOPs than ISO 27001. Yep.
When even I don't know what I'm doing, that's pretty
Yeah.
good. That's pretty good infosec.
I always remember one
I
that
have no clue what I'm doing next.
we had to take at ONR. It was called Code of Conduct. And
I could have fun with that. Holy crap, I could have fun with that.
and SEER on
Survival.
computer. Yeah. survival, escape, resistance, and evasion
Evasion on a computer.
on a computer. So
How are you going to eat bugs off a computer?
the first year that was mandated, I went into the boss and I said, "Excuse me, but I've done this for real, so I should get a waiver, right?" And he sighed and he looked at me and goes, "Nope." I said, "What do you mean, no?" He goes, "That doesn't count."
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Okay, that doesn't count. That's fine. Okay, fine. So I go back, sit down. Supposedly an 8-hour training course. For 9 friggin' years, I did that same damn course.
To the point where you could quote it from the first screen that came up to
Yep.
the one.
I never got through it in a single 8-hour work day. It usually took 3 days to get through. You could not jump screens. You had to wait for every screen to populate and the little yapper to yap through the entire training program.
Even though you could read it in about 4 seconds,
Yep.
you had to wait 3 minutes for it to come out and tell you.
Yeah, so Ractor Press HR, Rule 1. Sexual harassment will not be reported. It will, however, be graded.
Uh,
Having sat through far too many sensitivity courses.
Yeah.
And it's not just about sexual
I
harassment.
figured out how to duck those pretty early on.
Well, it's not just about sexual harassment. It's about things like, oh, well, you have a customer come in and he might be a foreign national and you have to be nice to him so you cannot offend any of his sensibilities. If you're having Middle Eastern customer come in,
Yeah.
make sure your shoes are never pointed towards him.
oh, yeah. Same thing with the Turks. Never show them your shoes. Yeah,
And
yada, yada, yada.
most Middle Easterners.
Yeah, the sexual harassment one, though, reminds me. We had a group one day for that bullshit at ONR. So it's a 2-hour training session. So we get finished, and Michelle and I are walking out. Michelle did the grants for us. And she looked at me and she goes, "Well, are you going to harass me or am I going to harass you?"
Yes.
And I said, "Yes." And the instructor went freaking ballistic on us. "I just told you people how to do this. I'm going to report both of y'all." "Fine, do it, bitch." And I walked out. About 30 minutes later, the division director calls me in his office. And I went, "Yes, sir." He goes, "You've been reported for sexual harassment."
Yes.
And I went, "Against who?"
Score.
I said, "Michelle, question mark, you know." And he looked at me, shook his head and said, "Michelle?" I said, "Yeah, we were trying to figure out who was going to harass who." And he just literally went, "Oh, fuck. Just get out of my office."
Back in 94, when the Texas legislature decided to change everything about being a Texas peace officer, they started doing some mandated classes. One of them was cultural diversity and special investigative topics.
Yeah.
And there for a while, we had to take that damn course every 2 years.
Yeah.
Both the cultural diversity and the special investigative topics.
Yeah.
Which just, holy crap. And it got to where the old boy up in the Panhandle who was teaching cultural diversity and special investigative topics would walk in, sigh,
Yeah.
turn on the PowerPoint, and go to sleep.
Yeah. And James Copley is exactly right. Weaponized idiocy.
Well, I remember working at the university. One of the old hands from the maintenance department said, "Look, it's real simple. You don't look at anybody for more than 3 seconds at a time.
Yeah.
You must keep your head on a swivel at all times to not to see everything going on around you, but to not see anything going on around you. Because if you look at somebody for 3 seconds or longer, then you are sexually harassing them."
Speaking of looking at people and sexual harassment, I had a rant.
You did. And honestly, this one, I can go.
The outgoing Air Force general in Japan
There was our first mistake.
for U.S. Forces Japan has come out with a new order banning early morning drinking in off-base establishments for all service members and spreads the responsibility to every service member for policing one another's conduct.
Oh, that's not. Oh,
Oh, it gets better. Service members should make every reasonable effort to prevent inappropriate or illegal activities by other service members. If the service member is aware of such misconduct, they are to directly report such misconduct to their chain of command as soon as possible.
well, morale just went in the crapper.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it gets better. It gets better. The second, more troubling part is commanders shall practice proactive, intrusive leadership and develop programs that foster positive behavior and accountability.
I'm the same question I had when you first told me this bullshit. What the is intrusive leadership?
Nowhere is that explained.
Intrusive sounds bad just from the.
Intrusive leadership. That sounds like a contradiction in terms.
So not only are we in a situation now where everybody that goes out is expected to tattle on their shipmates, regardless of what service they're in, you're expecting 19, 20-year-old kids on the fly when they've been drinking to make a decision whether or not something is illegal
Or even wrong.
or
Well,
even wrong in a foreign
inappropriate.
country.
Because remember, inappropriate is not unlawful.
Yeah, I did it. Does asking the bar girl for her phone number,
Is that
Thomas.
inappropriate?
is that inappropriate?
A special sundress shows up in a red sundress cut down to here and up to there.
Yeah.
Which has happened more than once.
Oh, yeah.
So now what?
Or you have to dance with this girl and she's got cutouts all over her dress.
Yeah.
And you're trying to slow dance with her. Where do you put your hands?
I've seen more than one female soldier show up at an off-duty function in a dress that the strippers are going, damn, girl, get some more material.
Yeah.
So now what?
One of my readers, Boats, is an old bosun's mate.
Yeah.
And he brought up something in his comment this morning. Said this is the shotgun principle style of leadership. Yeah.
Yep.
So basically, and I've seen this during my service. Shotguns fired into a group. The guilty get hits, but so do innocents. And it's a real morale killer, especially during liberty.
Because it's smacking the innocents is always seen as acceptable collateral damage.
Yep. That is exactly what it is. And it's obvious that this general does not care about collateral damage.
Nope.
Nor does he care about morale since he's gone.
Again, inappropriate is not unlawful.
Yeah.
So inappropriate behavior should be just why chain of command. Your next level leadership should kick your ass for being inappropriate. If somebody else, again, this is one of those things where we're asking people to be offended on somebody else's behalf.
Yep.
If somebody's being inappropriate, if Jim is being inappropriate to Sanford, it's not my job to decide it's inappropriate. If Sanford decides to be inappropriate, that's on him.
Yep.
Not on me.
Well,
I'm
Jim's
sitting here-
cute. I can handle it.
Right. I'm sitting here having a beer. I'm not going to judge their interactions. And trust me, most of the combat people I've been around, their good morning greetings over coffee are inappropriate.
Yeah.
Not just combat. Maintenance techs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are you here so early?
Yep.
Yeah.
Where
It's
the
like-
fuck have you been?
Especially you got folks working the artillery mechanics or
Yeah.
tank mechanics. Holy crap. If you're a Fifis or Lilac Scented, don't be anywhere near a tank mechanic, an
Yeah.
Army tank mechanic first thing in the morning. Made me blush. Damn.
Well, and what brought this on, and it's a continuing problem, and has been since day two, is, well, at least since 1946. Young, drunk military people.
Marines.
Marines,
troopers,
soldiers,
whatever sort.
Air Force,
Yeah.
Navy, everybody. Drunk in Japan on Liberty, saying and doing the wrong things with the girls over there.
Local girls.
Because over there, you have clubs that have bar girls, and you pay to dance with them, or you pay to have them sit with you. So you pay for their drinks, which are usually nothing more than tea, but you're charged for booze.
Charge for booze.
Yeah.
This is pretty normal.
That goes on here in the States.
Yeah, but not to the extent it does overseas.
And they're intending to round up as big as bill as they can. So you're gonna get commode hung and sing and drum.
Well, not only that, they lead the guys along.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, for $100 I'll go home with you.
Yep.
Well, as soon as they get out of the bar, I changed my mind.
Well, the next morning they can go to the base and say they changed their mind
Yeah.
because they realize there's a payoff because Americans are stupid.
Yep.
American military is stupid.
And that has happened. And there's also been real cases of rape and
Oh, yeah.
attempted rape.
There have, but there have been, especially Okinawa. There have been cases, full on cases of rape. Okay, it happens. The the service members that do it, need to be court-martialed, a public court-martialed, and off to busting rocks. However,
The majority of the ones that are accusing the sailors, Marines, and Air Force of rape in Japan are Filipinos
oh goodness.
because they come up to work the bars.
Yeah. But what American military leadership needs to understand is a lot of these, at least half of these, are bullshit accusations because they're trying to hit the lottery.
Yep.
And I realize that sounds misogynistic of me, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
Back in the 80s and 90s, as E5, E6, the number of times that one of my idiots got accused, of all the times they got accused, once, maybe twice, was the accusation actually unlawful. There was actual unlawful conduct. Rest of the time, it was, oh yeah, she led him out of the bar and drove him home.
Yeah.
Went in the house with him, and now,
And there are plenty of instances where this has gone on.
and most of them, I'll drop the charges if I can get seriously.
So anyway, they're going to basically, pardon the expression, they're going to fuck up everything in Japan for everybody.
Well, and and in 6 months, we don't know why retention's so bad.
Yeah.
Our recruiting numbers are in the crapper.
Because not only do you have the unhappy troopers,
Yeah.
Who are telling all their family and friends they're thinking about getting in.
exactly.
Yeah.
And if you live near a base and you're thinking, well, these guys have it pretty good. I mean, they always have food.
Yep.
It may be crappy food, but it's food. And you're saying, yeah, but look at what the hell they're putting them through.
It's one of the reasons. Well, it is the reason why we're having a peace officer shortage in the U.S. right now. Because one, all of the guys like me, somebody comes up, hey, Lodom, I'd like to be a peace officer. My first is no, not these days. Don't do it.
No.
Don't do it these days.
I cannot recommend the military to anybody these days.
I don't recommend military. I don't recommend public service at all these days. Not even fire or ambulance.
And you're getting a lot of people that are mid-career. They've been a cop for 10, 15, 20 years. And they're going, I better get out of here before I get defunded.
Before I'm next.
Yeah, or you're sued or you're shot.
There's a bunch of folks that I know of that they are vested. They've hit their vested on retirement. They go 1 month past vestment date and they're getting out.
Well, remember that deputy from Wichita Falls we talked to that day?
Mhm.
you've known him for years, and he was a long time career. 20 years and one day, and he was gone.
One day out, and he cut sling load.
Yeah.
Because it's not worth it. You can't, and recruiting and retention for military, for public service, a whole bunch of it is by the folks that are already in.
Yep.
The folks are already, and if they're not happy, they're not going to recruit for you. If they're not happy, they're actively going to work against your recruiting and retention.
Yep.
And never realize it.
Right.
And when I
Or
say
not
that,
care. Or not care.
but I would say in many cases, the same guy that was going, yeah, the Army has given me a great life. I got my family's well cared for. I'm well cared for. And, it's hard sometimes, but it's a good life.
Yeah.
When things start going in the crapper like this, it's, you don't want to be in the freaking Army.
Yeah.
And don't even realize that they've changed the attitude. It's what they're saying, what they feel.
Sir Brass says the Wichita County SL Facebook. No, that would be Waukegan, not Wichita County where I used to work.
Yeah.
Because one, I blocked it.
Yeah. Cedar, have fun, and we understand it's not that kind of meeting.
Liz told me her preferred bribe is good chocolate. That child is going to be hip deep in chocolate before this is over with. Wabaunsee County. Well, that's nice. And I'm sure I guarantee you there are good small agencies in Texas that I would probably like to work at. I just can't do law enforcement.
Yeah.
I'm not getting thrown under the bus again.
Yeah. I would like to take a moment, though, to thank everybody that contributed stories to the library anthology. Richard, I need yours. Matt, you said you almost had yours done. I can understand with your having to run around and get away from the hurricane being a couple of days late. Please send it. Yes, Tiffany, I saw yours. Thank you very much.
I'm having to research pink Jeeps.
Yeah.
Pink Jeeps?
Pink Jeeps.
So right now we have enough stories. Thank you, Cedar, by the way. Some of them are a little short, but I actually have to finish editing mine because it came in at about 13,000 words. So
Okay, Pink Jeeps. Now, there are plenty of them. They're all say Barbie on them, and they're electric.
no, they really made
the Jeep company, their rarest color is called Tuscadero, and it is a hot pink metallic color.
Yeah.
And okay, the rural fantasy jumped up and bit me on the butt last night, and
love it.
yeah. So I'm writing this scene in the jail where it's in this. Okay. It's long and complicated, but anyway, elves are Nazis. This one county in West Texas, the sheriff has figured out a loophole, and all the fairies showing up at in his county running from the elves. And in the first one I won't say it will never be published, but the second one will be the first one. And the first one, the elves fuck up, and the sheriff figures it out. And
You got to publish both of them.
You say that.
Yes, I do.
Anywho, the elves fuck up, and the sheriff figures something out, and the fuck up is wide. And so everybody's showing up because they'll be safe from the Nazi elves in this county. Well, the elves are trying to unfuck their screw up, and the second one opens with the sheriff. There's this FBI team has showed up in the desert, the scrub out in his county, and they're looking for a body. And it's, they're digging, and the special agent says, well, shit, it's just a dog. And the sheriff says, keep digging. Do you think that the dog came out here and his family buried him 6 feet down?
Yeah.
And they find a body. And he's trying to figure out how they know to go here. And so the FBI has a witch. And apparently the witch drives, last night I figured out the witch drives a hot pink 2-door Jeep. I don't know why. Don't know why. And now I got to figure out which, it's fuck.
Now, here I'm envisioning a hot pink Tudor Jeep with the minarets and the crenellations and
Don't get no, nope, not going there.
So I come in to get set up, and Ian's sitting in front of the computer mumbling about Jeeps.
Yeah.
And I said, "Yeah, red Jeep, huh?" He goes, "No, pink."
Gotta be pink. I don't know why.
So it's going to be probably a CJ7.
how many ducks has this one got?
Apparently, it's going to have to be several. It's going to have to be weird. I don't know why. It's
Does anybody know why the ducks and Jeeps are a thing?
not a clue. I think I'm fixing to find out why. But no, it's, and I've got this cast of characters that have shown up and ambushed the shit out of me.
Yeah.
I've got a sheriff who just wants a nice, quiet county. He wants to be left alone in a nice, quiet, small county. And all of a sudden, in the other world, the elves are running it and they are not nice. So everybody who's not an elf is fleeing. And they figure out that this one sheriff in this little West or this big West Texas county is going to prosecute elves for being stupid.
Yeah.
And I've got this undead. He's got his administrative, the sheriff's office secretary is a political appointee, the sister of one of the county commissioners, and she's dead. He's been trying to get rid of her. She's dead, and he can't get rid of her. There's a dragon has shown up, and it's living on the courthouse. Every outsider that comes by thinks it's just a gargoyle.
Yeah. And
so far, it has flame broiled the administrative assistant, corrosively crapped on it. She's been hit. The sheriff has hit her with a truck accidentally, and she won't stay dead. It's really annoying me.
So she's not dead, she's undead.
She's very undead. Very undead.
But you were saying all the fairies were coming to his county.
Yeah.
I thought all the fairies in Texas went to Austin.
Now, butter. So I wrote the scene last night. He's still in there's this county, the sheriff's office still in the old jail. So there's the back part, there's a room that's where the scaffold is.
Yeah.
And they went looking for her after they found the body, and the elf trying to set him up. So, and they weren't expecting the witch and nobody believes in witchcraft anywhere. So she's used to, whatever from people. And then all of a sudden there's the sheriff that believes her. So she's finding out, oh shit, this county's full of wow. And she's sitting on the gallows steps talking to a ghost that he can't see. It's really bugging the shit out of him. And he's walking her out to her car because he's the old West gentleman, and it's a hot pink Jeep. I don't know why that was important, but I had to write the scene.
And like I said, I think Jeep named the Tuscadero color after Pinky Tuscadero,
which I had no clue, but it makes sense.
Because that would have been about the time that movie came out.
Movie?
Yeah.
What movie are you talking about? Pinky Tuscadero was a character in Happy Days that was Fonzie's girlfriend for a while.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah.
Which was a TV series, not a movie.
Yeah.
So I've been working on this for a couple of years, and it jumped up and bit me on the butt. It's really annoying the crap out of me. There's other stuff I need doing.
The Detective, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Yeah. Yeah, with a few twists. Yeah.
In the first one, the sheriff discovers this when he gets a call for a shoplifting at the local Allsups. And he's figuring it's the local druggie. So he pulls up the Allsups, goes around to the alley, and the local druggie comes running out at a dead sprint, gets handcuffed, and screaming about the thing in the alley. So sheriff goes in there, got to go check, even though it's a drug-induced hallucination. and finds that somebody's dumped a statue of Robin Goodfellow in the alley, and that the druggie probably thought it was funny to stick a burrito in his hand or paw. And then he's retrieving the burritos, and the statue sneezes, and it goes downhill from there. It's the
You've got to publish that.
Robin-
It's fucking hilarious.
Robin Goodfellow says, the sheriff draws on him. Holy shit! And Robin Goodfellow says, "I'm a figment of imagination." The sheriff says, "Nope, wide awake. You've been sick for 3 days, and this is a." Sheriff says, "Nope, had a checkup 3 days ago. If you tell your boss, he'll never believe it." He goes, "I am the boss." And then he arrests Robin Goodfellow and takes him to the JP to be arraigned on
Criminal mischief.
shoplifting.
Yeah.
And he tries the same thing. It's like, nobody's going to believe that you had Robin Goodfellow, a satyr, in your courtroom. And the judge of the peace says, "Son, I was in Miami in the 70s. I ate weirder things than you with my my breakfast cereal. Plead and get out of my courtroom."
You got to publish it. It's good.
And then he showed Robin Goodfellow stays there as a hairdresser and drives the sheriff nuts because it's a small town West Texas. It's like, okay, there's a satyr walking down. Okay, it's small town West Texas. Yeah, he's one of ours. And
Yeah.
then they all start showing up.
And you'll see how really twisted Ian's mind is when he publishes his shit.
Yeah,
It is good. I swear to God, you got to publish it.
I'm working on it. It's just if I could quit bouncing back and forth between the first 2 books. And the thing is I've on the first one, I've got the last chapter written.
This is, by the way, is the sheriff that was in another book who left and came to this book.
Yeah. Yeah, the sheriff discovers that in this world, magic is based on oaths and ceremonies, like a marriage ceremony, marriage vows, or like a swearing in ceremony for your peace officer badge. And the elves can't figure out why they can't affect him. And as long as he upholds his oath, he's immune from mind control magics. It's driving the elves nuts. One of them gets frustrated, and the sheriff winds up killing him in his office. And last part of it, he's in a hospital bed. He got cut up pretty good. And the very last part of it, the elves send an emissary to everybody in Ferry can hear what the emissaries say, and the emissary's offering threats if he doesn't, play the game. And all the shadows have eyes and ears in them. And the sheriff said, "I figured it out. You can't. We do have magic. It's in oaths and ceremonies. And when I swore on this badge, I swore to conserve the peace in my county, and that's all, and uphold the law. But my first vow was to uphold the peace. If I kill every pointy-eared motherfucker that walks into this county, do you think I have a peaceful county?" And the emissary freezes and realizes, and checking the magic, realizes, oh shit, he could do that.
Yeah.
And since they were broadcasting this all throughout Ferry to prove they could, now everybody in Ferry knows it, and they're all running for this county because the elves are evil. They're Nazis. I hate elves. So,
DA, there actually is a color called Tuscadero Pink.
it's a
Jeep did, and it literally is a pink Jeep.
Yeah, it's a lovely hot pink metallic, and they reissued it for 2024.
And a friend of ours actually had one of them, which was a CJ7. She was in the Navy. She bought it in Hawaii and drove it routinely. And sadly, a year or so ago, she had a wreck with it and totaled it.
So the administrative assistant, the secretary, had no vow to protect her and was a flat out bitch anyway. And wound up the elves whacked her and then raised her as undead as a
Pain in the ass.
pain in the ass. And she's been a pain in the ass. I mean, she was a pain in the ass before, but now she's an undead pain in the ass. And when
I know who the model for that was.
Oh, I know you do. And the first time after she's dead, she shows up blue. the sheriff freaks and runs over her with his car, and then she won't die. Elves not legal citizens. Interesting. That's actually based on a conversation I had with the first sheriff I ever worked for, who pointed out that we swore our oath was that we would conserve the peace in our county and uphold the laws of the state of Texas and the Constitution of the United States. He said nothing about. He told me. He said that. Do you hear anything in there about federal laws? I said no, sir. He said state laws and uphold the Constitution. Also, our very, very, very first vow is to conserve the peace.
Yeah.
Think of how broad that is. And I went, crap. Wow. I was like, okay then.
Oh,
My eyes are going bad because this whole screen's washing out.
Yeah.
My left eye's acting up.
you got to publish that though.
I got to get it written first. Both of them.
Well, finish it. I'm working on it for years.
I don't know if you realize I started a company a couple of years ago and I'm still working on the company.
Do you remember an old video game called Mortal Kombat?
Finish
Yeah.
him.
That's a while ago.
I said old.
But this is
Dragons have to get a yearly fire prevention license. Oh,
no, that would involve paperwork, and the sheriff doesn't like paperwork. It's a small West Texas county, panhandle-ish, and it's very western and very. He doesn't want to be bothered.
Yeah.
This guy he's 50s, maybe 60s, probably
Veteran.
50s, and he wants to be. He just wants a nice, quiet retirement, and he's not getting it. And it's really and. Now, the last time he didn't run, and they wrote him in. He said, "I'm not running," so they wrote him in.
Yeah.
He's like, "God damn it!" And he wants, and all of a sudden, it's neither nice nor quiet. And he's having to do a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? I've lost the word. Ring.
like our case is, you just described Vega. As it was when I grew up there. Yeah.
Vega. Oh, last time I checked, Vega was issuing the Orcutt police nunchucks.
Yeah.
It might be loosely based on Vega. But he's having to find a lot of initiative. And for somebody who wants to sit on the bench out front and drink coffee all day,
Yeah.
this is frustrating him. He's got like 4-man department, and all of a sudden all of these he's got trolls under the highway overpasses.
Yeah.
That's fine. Hire them.
Oh, he gets
Expand the department.
he gets well. He can't because he's got to pay them, and it's a small county with not a lot of tax base.
Well, it depends on what you pay them with.
Yeah. So he got troll. He got Fluffy the dragon is having to pay for the cows he's eating, and Fluffy is either asleep on the hood of the sheriff's car or perched on the courthouse. And everybody, it's off the beaten path, so nobody drives through, but the occasional lost person goes through and takes pictures because that's a fantastic gargoyle.
Yeah.
And the dragon's blinking at them, and they don't. It can't be a dragon. Dragons don't exist.
And Fluffy has to give up pieces of its gold hoard every time it eats a cow,
It's really
which pisses Fluffy off.
And Fluffy's trying, and Fluffy is trying to. He's starting eBay business because he's trying to sell scales.
Yeah.
But eBay won't pay him in gold coins.
Yeah.
So he's filing a class action lawsuit.
Yeah.
That's all. It's my brain. I don't.
Well, you should have a Paso Dwarves show up. You could come up with a new income from the county when they dig down the bedrock and start selling fish.
It's always frustrating little things like.
Sheriff needs to call a certain company in Cazador, Alabama.
Mm.
No.
The sheriff tried to get him onto crypto, but he can't lay on it, so it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And he wants eBay to pay him in gold coins, and eBay won't do it. So he's filing a class action lawsuit. Sheriff's going,
Well, eBay would have trouble getting a hold of enough gold.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, not only that, but Fluffy does not want to deal with the gold sellers.
Nope.
Because they charge too much.
Ooh. Fluffy knows usury, and Fluffy the dragon is not happy with the usurious rates. And sheriff's going, you're going to follow the law,
Yeah.
or get out.
And you're saying Fluffy knows gold sellers.
Yeah.
And I'm envisioning salt and pepper sellers.
Yeah.
Out of gold. Ooh, somebody got magic to turn certain types of spammers into gold sellers.
This started out as me just brain dropping on crazy stuff like, how do you make trolls in West Texas that have to have a bridge? How do you? And I took off, and then it just started growing.
Overpasses.
Yep.
That was the original.
They're living under overpasses.
So that was in 2016, because I remember that conversation.
Yes.
Well, overpasses are bridges.
Yep,
Yeah.
they are. And the trolls showed up, and they found overpasses, and they were quite happy.
And one of them could live under a dentist's office. He's
Well,
got plenty of bridges in there.
Yeah.
No, not going there.
But it's perfect.
He shows up, and he finds out that there's 35 trolls living under one bridge. The sheriff's also the census taker, and he doesn't know how to enter any of this.
MHI, Texas Navy crossover with Company X of the Texas Rangers.
Now,
Write it, DA. Write it.
it's a small population county, yes? Large
Yeah.
territory,
About-
small
Yeah,
population.
about 5, 6, maybe 8,000.
Okay. Well, he's the sheriff. He's the census taker. Is he anything like Andy Griffin when he encountered Danny Thomas?
I don't know. I don't know.
No.
There's a part I got stuck on.
One Renovant, one Ranger.
The part that I got stuck on last year, it's been a year since I was writing on this. The part I got stuck on was that there was he got called to a barn, and all of his deputies are pointing shotguns at the barn. He pulls up, what the hell? And the barn goes, roar! And that's where I don't know what's in the barn.
Okay, the barn went bar.
Yeah, something
So-
in the barn. Something in the barn went blur.
Oh, something in the barn.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a difference because if the barn went blur, it was a mimic.
And Baba Yaga is going to show up sometime along here. That's good, probably book 3, because she'll probably be a major villain in book 3. I don't know. I don't even know if there's going to be a book 3. I'm just got to get this out of my head. But I've got so much other crap to do.
Yeah.
I really do.
Not an ostrich, emu.
Baba Yaga is going to show up, so there's your ostrich.
Instead of chicken feet, ostrich feet.
And there's a Rusalka living in one of the horse troughs. I'm other than the elves, which I don't like, and they're all the elves in Fairy are Nazis. It's basically Nazi Germany, and everybody else is getting the hell out. And I'm talked to Nikki Kenyon, and I've got a Rusalka living in a horse trough, and the sheriff's gone by to cite her for molesting domestic animals. She keeps trying to drown cats, and he keeps citing her for molesting domestic animals. And
This is West Texas, so you got plenty of rattlesnakes.
That's a good point.
You know, that tells me that you probably got Nagas.
I don't know.
Running
I don't know what's
rattlesnake
coming out. But she's living in a horse trough, and every time she tries to drown a cat, the sheriff cites her, and she comes up to JP's office and pays in gold coins.
Yeah. Is there a Rick's Cafe? No, but that would be an interesting twist
There is a cafe on the courthouse.
Yeah.
On the courthouse square.
with the little old waitress.
Little old waitress who doesn't care.
Yeah.
Nobody cares, and anybody from outside the county can't process it and
Yeah.
and ignores it, which drives the sheriff nuts. Look, it's a dragon. Oh, it's a cute sculpture. It's blinking at you.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a really good sculpture.
Yeah,
Actually, the cafe is based on the cafe on the courthouse square in Vernon.
I thought it would be based on there's a movie scene. I've never seen the movie, but it's two cops.
Two
old
Texas,
cops.
two Texas Rangers. What
Yeah.
don't you want?
What don't you want?
Yep. Yep. That is.
Shit, I've seen the movie and I can't even remember it now. We've been to a restaurant.
We've
that
been told
had
that.
that little old lady.
We've been told that.
I just the only thing I've seen out of the movie is that one
Yep.
scene.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's dead on.
It is. It's that little town, Pretty.
Pretty, yeah.
Yeah, there's a cafe in a gas station in Pretty, Texas.
Yeah.
Down near where we go deer hunting. And I went in there, and they've got a really good menu.
Yeah.
But I ordered a patty melt, and they list on the burgers they've got American, Swiss, pepper jack, and cheddar. And I asked for cheddar on my patty melt. She told me they didn't put cheddar on patty melts.
Yeah. and Matt asked for green beans, and she said, "You don't get green beans with that."
You know, yeah, he asked for a burger and green beans. She said, "You don't get green beans with that. You get corn."
Yeah.
And that was a yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And Matt's not exactly a small boy. And then there was the desserts.
Oh my God,
What
and
did you get instead of coconut pie?
pecan pie.
pecan pie.
Because it was winter. They didn't have no coconut pie. We got pecan pie.
And I made the pie, so you're going to like it.
Yep.
That was her exact
Oh,
words.
No, Sir Brass. I had cheese on it, just wasn't cheddar because you had to have American because that's what a patty melt is.
Yeah.
You have American cheese and you have mayonnaise and you have sauteed onions.
Yep.
And I said, yes, ma'am. And had a damn fine patty melt.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a really interesting little place in more ways than one.
Oh, the building the gas station's in is over 100 years old.
Yeah.
It's got wood floors and the wood is easily that thick and it's old. I think it's
Yeah.
cypress. Looks like cypress.
It's Cypress.
It's old. It's the construction. It's Adobe construction. So the inside's cool.
Yeah, and it's
Oh.
worn.
Oh, it's so worn.
People walking. And
And-
some of the holes in the floor are patched with old license plates.
Yeah. The tables are in the middle of, and the shelves with the stuff on it, with the stuff they sell, are around the tables.
Yeah.
So I asked the napkin dispenser was empty. I said, "Ma'am, could I have a napkin?" She said, "Don't you see the packets of napkins on the shelf behind you?" I said, "Yes, ma'am." "Grab one. Let me know." "Yes, ma'am."
But the food was excellent.
The food was fantastic.
Yeah.
Best patty melt I've had in a while. It's one of those places I don't think they ever change the grease. They just scrape off the big chunks.
Yeah.
Oh, it was lard.
Yeah.
No, lard or tallow. They didn't use.
They used beef tallow for the fries. 'Cause
Yeah,
you
they
could
did.
taste it.
Oh,
The best fries. Since McDonald's changed, the best fries, in my opinion, that are made.
they were beef tallow fries at the Pretty Grocery was fantastic. Really was.
Yeah. No Miracle Whip. Kelly needs to be the Google in charge of EMS.
No, it's a squirrely little, and I was just writing scenes, get them out of my head.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was going to become a fucking book.
Yeah.
I've been working on this damn thing for 8 years now.
8 years, yeah.
8 years.
Started in 2016. I can literally say I was there when it started.
You were there when I started brainstorming.
It started down at the cafe.
Yeah, I did. Vignettes. That's a gem.
Yeah. Folks were once told they couldn't have French toast because they didn't have French bread. I can believe that new Road Warrior.
Good duck fat fries. Oh,
Yeah. The problem is finding duck fat, one.
Yeah.
And two, being able to afford duck fat.
more Texas ferries win. They're Nazis.
Yeah.
They are bad.
Oh, Kermit, I'm sorry.
Well house.
sprang a leak. Ouch.
Girl. No, I don't like elves to begin with. Tolkien elves just piss me off. So I set out to make these elves just as evil as elves should be. Nobody's read the old stories about elves,
Yeah.
especially the non-Disneyfied fairy tales. Elves ain't good.
Oh, the old Brothers Grimm.
Yeah, no, the elves aren't good.
Yeah.
So I wrote up bad elves.
Ooh, tell us more, Jesse.
Bourbon selection and duck fries.
Ooh.
Wow.
Oh, that sucks, Kermit. But yeah, I can believe that.
So
50-cent piece of PVC that finally cracked, but you had to tear the wall off. Yeah.
Yeah, all the creatures in fairy the elves screwed up
Yeah.
and broadcast this, and they all went, "What?" And they're all flooding into this little county. And the sheriff, God damn it!
No, you can't have a vampire for an EMT because he'd drink all the blood.
I haven't done vampires yet because everybody does vampires.
You did a couple of vampires in your short stories.
Yeah. Well, I did for I
He only
did
sparkled when he burned up.
the for the my Conlon and Ellie series, the Shaman PIs in Wichita Falls, which I'm going to have to move them because there's not that much that happens in Wichita Falls.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Go shoot them good, Ben. 2-gun range this week. Yay.
so I don't like Ian doing. You didn't follow that story, did you? And I wrote that story. I wrote that story after I was on a prisoner transfer down in Houston and walked into a Half Price Books and headed over to Fantasy. And every book I saw had a blonde bimbo in a ponytail, wearing not enough leather,
Yeah.
holding a completely illogical knife and tattoos. And I sat down and wrote Bad Night in Fallstown as a response to that.
Yeah.
There's a vampire, and in that universe, vampires are basically just magical fungus that take over bodies that have already died.
I've read one of those stories.
And Ellie, one of the PIs, has a line about what the hell is it with strippers and vampires?
Yeah.
Well, I have to say, having known strippers,
See you Thursday,
vampires
Wally.
are probably more lively.
Yeah.
Including the fungus-based ones.
Khan in the stories, pisses off a vampire by referring to him as fungus the entire time.
Yeah, Kermit, you got water and pipe on the mind.
Yeah.
Go fix that shit. It's kind of nice to be able to take a shower when you get home.
No kidding. Showers are good.
Yeah, I don't understand the whole fantasy thing with elves and vampires. I mean, Anne Rice, bless her pointed little head,
Woo!
um,
She made vampires sexy and
sexy and sparkling. Yeah.
Damn.
Well, vampires were always... I never understood why the old Dracula movies from 40, 50 years, 80 years ago, the vampires were supposed to be so attractive to what young women. I'm going, ew.
Yeah.
Okay, Vampirella, I will give her a sexy.
damn.
Vampire DoorDash drivers.
Bring food in, please.
Well, I did put a vampire in one of my stories. I made him the night cook at Waffle House.
Well, my favorite vampire in any story is the alcoholic vampire from Spider Robinson's Callahan stories.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. You're right, Stephanie. I'm wrong. Stephanie Meyer did the sparkling vampires.
I have a scene in one of the Conlon and Ellie books, the shaman investigators. They got a vampire hit a druggie, and he's staggering down the street, just zoned out of his tiny little mind because the druggie had gotten into his monthly stash.
Yeah.
And the vampire fed off of him. He is fucked up. But that's the Con and Ellie stories are kind of squirrely.
Tiffany, I don't actually remember because I tended not to read fantasy. I didn't really start reading fantasy until till I was in the military, and there was nothing else in the squadron library that I hadn't already read. So I was desperate to read something new.
I like my fairy creatures to be, because I grew up, probably explains a lot. I grew up on the original European fairy tales, the ones that were designed to elicit proper behavior from children by scaring the crap out of them.
Yeah.
So I tend to make my traditional European mythical creatures true to life.
Oh, Julie.
Now, I have a question for you. How
Yes.
screwy does something have to be for the guy who wrote The Pink Gorilla to be?
I didn't
Calling
write
it
it. I
screwy.
lived it.
Yeah.
I didn't write it. I lived it.
Dracula Dead and Loving It.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Great movie.
I like
Yeah.
old Dracula.
Well, I'm used to. I grew up on vampires from pre-Disneyfication,
Yeah.
and
no.
vampires were scary shit.
Excuse me. Old Dracula starred Larry Niven, or not Larry Niven, David Niven.
Yeah.
And was a humorous take on it in the Blazing Saddles vein.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's so I tend to, if you read the old folklore, elves were not.
Yeah.
Ooh. But I do. I have a Con and Ellie, where a vampire has bitten a druggie after the druggie hit his MDA dose. He's staggering down the street.
There was a Will Smith show 10 years ago, 15 years ago. I can't tell you what the name of it was, but the first scene, he's out with a baseball bat and there's a fairy flying around his house. and he's trying to beat it to death. And when he hits it, of course, glitter scatters over half the neighborhood.
Yeah.
There is a HBO show. There are actually two of them, but you only watch the first one. And it had Fred Ward as investigator Harry Lovecraft. And the hell was it called?
God, yes.
I can see the Cast a Deadly Spell. Thank
Yeah.
you, Jesse. I love Cast a Deadly Spell. That is one of my favorite guilty pleasure movies.
Creatures of Night. I
Night.
have never
Shut
seen
up.
it, Todd.
No, Creatures of the Night is a line from Love at First Bite.
No,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was a movie back in the day because Cal Worthington and his dog Spot at 3:00 in the friggin' morning.
But Todd, the quote he's doing there is
Yeah.
Leslie Nielsen in Love at First Bite goes to the window and the werewolves, oh, he goes, Children of the Night, shut up!
Yeah. Yeah. Well, folks, we've wasted another hour of
Holy
your time.
crap, we have. Well, this one went quick.
Yeah. Well, we
Weird
had
places.
plenty of things to talk about today. George Hamilton, The Love
Yep.
at First Bite.
Yep. Children of the Night, shut up! I do not
Oh.
drink blood.
One thing,
We do appreciate it. And again, thank you to those that submitted stories for the library anthology. No, you're not going to get paid, but
Nope.
you will get exposure.
Yep.
And
Oh, there's also another anthology for a good cause. It's for Lori Janeski, Matt Bowman's
Yes.
wife.
yes,
Amanda Spriggs. You're on Facebook, hit up Amanda Spriggs. We're going to, Bractor Press is going to format it, put it together, but we're not running it.
Yeah.
So don't submit it to us. Contact Amanda for the submissions email.
Yeah.
And all the proceeds for that will go to Lori. She was in a bad car crash, so they're going to need some help.
we have not heard anything.
I'm not going to bother Matt over
Yeah.
it.
They've got enough issues going on without people pinging them going, how's you doing?
Amanda Spriggs is collating.
Yeah.
She'll be the editor on that. So contact her about where to send them. Don't send them to us.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point, Larry or Jesse. The library does get paid.
Oh yes.
I went by and talked to Amy today, and she said, yes, I track that because of our previous interactions with the city money people.
Yep. Tried to send it back.
They tried to send it back. So she now keeps track of it,
Smart.
and she checks it every month. And she said, I make sure that I overspend in September because if there's any money left in my account, they're going to take it.
Sure are. They'll turf it over to general funds.
Yeah.
Like I say, Lori Janeski, that's Amanda Spriggs,
Yeah.
Spriggs on Facebook. Contact her for where to send the
And if you can't
submissions.
figure out that is Cal Spriggs' wife,
Mhm.
so you can get to her through him
If
if
you
you
need
know
to.
him.
Actually, I think it's strange. I think I may be friends with Amanda on Facebook, but not
But
with
not
Cal.
Cal.
Yeah.
That happens. Yeah, so be
Yeah.
sure to send them there.
Apparently, Matt is updating his Discord. I'm to the point I've quit Discord.
I've
It's,
never been on it.
it's too much of a time sink.
I don't have the spoons for Discord. I
Yeah.
really don't.
Yeah, Amanda was at Pecan, and that's where this kind of got started.
Yep. Amanda volunteered to
Yeah.
do it, and we said we'd throw in the formatting. And
Yeah.
I think Cedar's doing a cover, but don't quote me on that. This is not one of mine, so I'm just kind of.
Yeah.
I think Cedar's we're going to format it and publish it, but it's not one of ours.
Anyway, folks, we've wasted another hour of your time. Thank you very much, and thanks to those in the chat for answers when we forget shit. That is
thank you.
definitely appreciated.
And for the snark, the seeing every now and then. My eyes getting better. I think I had a bad spell. I'm actually able to see them.
Yeah. Yeah, this has something to do with the weightlifting. You know, you overstress yourself.
Yeah.
Anyway, folks, we'll be back Thursday.
I may have news Thursday, so tune in.
Okay. Sanford, thanks for being with us today. Comments are always appreciated.
Get
You-
tired of me till we go away.
You were the peanut gallery today.
All right,
And
guys.
It's not
remember-
time for you to tell people not to pet Ian.
Remember, don't pet the sweaty stuff. Don't sweat the petty stuff.
Y'all be safe.
We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Oh.